Hi, my name's Cooper Black, and I'm going to be doing a run through of problem 51 for our homework. So after a quick read through of the problem, we noticed two things about our null and alternative hypothesis. For one, the problem doesn't mention anything about any assumed difference between the people who use internet for their job recruitment service or process in the present versus the past. So that tells us that our null hypothesis, or P1 minus P2, should equal 0. And then also, we know that the problem is asking for, is there sufficient evidence to suggest that more people are using LinkedIn now to search for jobs compared to 3 years ago? So that tells us that the alternative hypothesis, or what we're testing for, P1 minus P2 should be greater than 0. We're wondering if it's greater now than the past. So after we have those two statements, we can put the data from this problem into a JMP spreadsheet, which I've already done. The yes and the no stand for the successes and failures in the p hat. So in the present, we can see that 67 out of 150 people said that they do use LinkedIn, which counts as success, which goes here. And then in the past, or in the survey that was done 3 years ago, we can see that 58 out of 140 people said yes, so that goes there. So after we do all this data, or after we have all this data, our next step is to analyze it. So we should put it into a fit y by x contextual. And since we're wondering about the use of LinkedIn, that goes into the y response, and then it's by time, by present or past. And the count gives us the quantitative data we need to make analysis, so that goes into frequency. And we get this, a lot of stuff that we don't care about. Our next step is to do a two-sample test for proportions. And then right away, actually, we got to change this to yes, because we care about people who use LinkedIn, not those who don't. And right away, we can see two main reasons why we should retain the null hypothesis. For one, the confidence interval right here contains 0. So 0 would be in between these two numbers. And also, if we're looking at this probability right here, the probability that we can substitute P1 minus P2 is greater than 0 here, we can see that the probability is higher than 0.005, which is our level of significance. So to wrap this all up, we can write our conclusion. We can say, there is not enough evidence to conclude that the proportion of people who use the internet in job recruiting situations nowadays differs from the proportion of people who use the internet in job recruiting situations 3 years ago.